G'day, mates. A new week. I've remembered to put my lineups in, and I've won. Sort of. Almost. Not really, but I did the right things. Look, I must say, Alistair, it's better than me not putting in a lineup and the boys doing really well. But it kind of was the weekend that sums up Sorare, right? I mean, you messaged me, you said, Simon, he's dead. I think he might be dust this season.
Every time you see graffiti, on a sign, you're going to say,
2 seconds later, the GOAT does what all GOATs do, bangs in a goal. Kim Sung-young, 74 points on AA. How good. We're laughing. Who else did I have?
Sano.
Someone else? Asano. Put him in, you said. He's still got, decisive capabilities. Bam. 80. Park Il-gyu. I've got to stop getting Asian guys because saying their names, rattling them off is quite difficult.
Singwan, Sungwon. Sungwoo, Sungwon. Sungwon, Sungwon. Sangwon, Sungwon.
Park Il-gyu. Damn, he concedes, but he's the GOAT. He just racking up them saves. 65 points with a conceded goal. How good. Yuma Suzuki lets me down. His teammate, who I also have in the gallery, pumps out like a 70 points on AA. But it's okay, right, Alistair? 390 points. Almost cracked the big 400. We're on, right? That's, I've hit big decisives. It's all going well. In my limiteds, absolutely smashing. Berkey gets the clean sheet. Sho Sasaki goal. Kevin De Bruyne doing Kevin De Bruyne things. Man City rotation kills me once again. And here we are after all of that. Technically I'm winning, but I'm just as upset and angry as ever. Quite the intro.
395 points. What is this, 2003? You won't win at anything with a sub 400. We all know that. Come on.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Sub 400.
I've seen you win like 0.5 ETH with 320 points.
You have not. And also, that's because I'm in the Blue Boys. I'm up where eagles fly, mate. I'm in the nether regions.
But I'm better than you.
The only places you can win with a lowish score is in the in-season and in super rares and uniques. If you wanna dip your toe in the classic contender pool with all the dweebs, you better come packing 400 plus. If you want to walk away with anything other than a Snickers bar, yeah, stuff a sock in it, mate.
Yeah. In hindsight, when you put it like that, playing in the most common division. Yeah, in one of the most common leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You do that.
Wait, what?
When you end a sentence, you go,
Kind of does that up. But I'm still not buying it. Let's discuss it later, but I feel like we have this conversation a lot.
We'll get to it. I mean, it's. I think everyone. I noticed today. I was catching up on a few of the other So Rare podcasts, and everyone's talking about the same thing. So we're not unique. We're ahead of everyone, and we're in the future, but we're also behind. So we're not copying everyone else. It's just that it's the same topic. Everyone's got the same thing on their mind. So we will talk about it. Is So Rare dead? Has Simon ever got a chance? Can Simon ever get any enjoyment out of this sour pickle that is So Rare? But we'll talk about that in a bit, Simon. What have you seen this week?
I've seen a bit, actually. Now, last week we looked at really bad goal celebrations, the failed knee slide, done my ACL, but scored the goal.
Nailed it.
Now, if there's one thing we love, it's a good goal celebration, and we also love anything to do with the A-League. I mean, they've given us some great memories. Terry Antonis, goal from halfway, Melbourne City boys doing their thing. I stumbled across during the week some of the all-time A-League celebrations, and I want to run it by you and get your thoughts on how the men down under celebrate their goals in front of the packed-out 5,000 people stadium.
All right, let's have a look.
Flores now has a chance. Marcos Flores with a contender for goal of the season. What a strike!
Found the only home fan.
It's Ivan Frenich. Here's the celebration. Could be in a bit of trouble.
That's the best one I've ever seen. That's incredible.
Their way into finals football as things stand.
Yeah, could be better.
And the celebration for the North Queensland. Archie Thompson makes it 3-2
Yes.
for Melbourne victory. And he goes to the Melbourne crowd.
Yeah, bit of hurdling.
Look at me. I've done it.
Puff the chest out like that.
With a little leggy. So he's getting much turn out of the
Leg break. The Warnie celebration. Now, what is it, Simon, that makes soccer players so good at doing backflips? Is it just time? They've just got time on their hands.
I would
Soccer
say,
training is finished by 3 and the rest of it's backflip training.
They're explosive athletes in the best shape of their lives, used to sprinting around a pitch for 90 minutes. I'd say it probably lends itself rather nicely.
So all I have to do is become a professional athlete, and then me too can do backflips.
Yeah.
Huh.
My favourite celebration out of all of that, Alistair, picking out the cream of the crop, was the Brisbane Roar one where they got down on all fours, and I thought they might have been doing a dog in the park situation of sniffing each other's bums.
I thought they were doing like a human centipede thing. I was like, this is a risque celebration. I mean, maybe it was like 2006, the movie had just come out, and they're like, let's keep it topical. And, eat each other's assholes. But no, it was much more PG than that.
Yeah. Now, I never thought this day would come where I would open the show with 2 A-League related segments.
Okay.
And this one, Alistair, is justifying my cry, our need for the A-League. Click on that bad boy. When A-League, Nicholas, so that us Australian common folk can have our Melbourne City stacks smashed once again.
Oh, I have an Arslan as well. Arslan. I've never actually said his name out loud before. I have an Arslan. I have him, and he's like, scored 3 goals, hat trick. Oh, mate, 8-0, and the cleanie as well.
Yeah, and the 4,580 people at that stadium
that were there to witness it.
Went wild.
Oh dear. I mean, have you been to an A-League game, Simon? I suppose you've worked at a few, haven't you? But have you ever been as a spectator?
Never.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Come on, Nicholas, just make it happen. I mean, we would go to some games if we had a full Melbourne City stack. We're going to a game, 100%.
Okay,
every single game.
Would you go to Westerloo versus Eupen if you didn't have any Sorare players in it, or it wasn't onboarded?
I wouldn't travel to Belgium to watch Westerlo versus Eupen if I didn't have any players involved, no. But I might travel to Belgium if I did have a couple of, limiteds. You never know.
There's your Sorare tagline.
That's the power of Sorare. Because if all I have to do is stack Eupen, and if they win, flight's paid for, baby.
No, Alistair, if they win, but they've got to score, like they've all got to get decisives, but they can't just get decisives. They have to get decisives plus at least 25 points of AA, and you can't have one single one of those players score less than 60, otherwise you'll get nothing but reward boxes.
400,
anyway,
baby. Alrighty, what's next?
Speaking of stacks that went well, Chelsea had a great win on the weekend, or
sure did
the other day.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've seen this. It's gone kind of viral.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen a visual, so I'm glad you found this for me. Okay. All right. So I know what this is. So this is ice cold Cole Palmer. Just by the way, on Cole Palmer. So I went and saw Man City play 2 years ago, couple of years ago. That was that was my first live Sorare experience. I bought an Erling Haaland Limited for like half an ETH just so that I could go and watch him in the flesh and watch him score a goal and have my notifications go off. And Cole Palmer was on the bench for Man City. And I remember thinking, like, here is a man who does not look like a professional footballer. He's like 7 foot tall. He's got a head like a zucchini. He's like Robert Berrick's stepson. And I was like, this kid's never going to make it. He hasn't got the look. He's not cool enough. Here he is, ice cold Cole Palmer. He's doing the celebrations. He's scoring 5 goals a game. Anyway, just thought I'd share how far he's come and how wrong I was about how cool he is.
A real Tom Brady moment, some would say.
That's right. Yeah, he even looks slightly cool. He looked like a real doofus back at Man City. Anyway, okay, so I've seen Madueke. I've seen him a couple of times try and take the ball off Cole Palmer in other games. He's just wants a pen. Give the boy a pen. But this is a couple of players, isn't it?
Into Tarkovsky. Oh, no. Wow.
All right, so he's hiding the ball.
Oh, that's silly.
Now Jackson's come in.
4-0 Madueke has taken a couple of penalties and scored them.
Well, that really is silly.
And that shines a different light.
Okay, so you don't need to watch the rest of it, but
He's furious.
A lot going on both sides on this.
And
It doesn't put him off.
All right, so yes, I mean, there's a few things to unpack here.
So before that video starts, I've now since seen the full footage, and Madueke has the ball, and Nicholas Jackson, tries to take it off him.
Yeah,
but then Madueke's like, "No, it's mine." Cole rises from the dead. You know, his ankles were snapped a minute prior. Jumps up.
Okay.
He then takes the ball, which then so Nicholas Jackson had left at that point. He comes running back up. I don't know if he's like, "Hang on, you get to take it as well." So it's all very confusing. But one of the game's best pundits, Dele Alli, actually said on one of the shows that I was watching, yeah, he's on shows now. He was like, to be fair, they're 4-0 up. If it is Nicholas Jackson that wants to take that pen, and even Madueke, I know you said that he'd try to take it in the past, but like they only want it when they're up 4-0 and it means nothing. Like, where's Nicholas Jackson running up and Madueke running up when, you know, it's the 95th minute and they've got to ice a game?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, when the goals are flowing, everyone wants in on the action. You know, you feel like you've missed out if you don't get a couple of goals. So I can fully understand where they're coming from. The pressure's off. Let me take a pen. Let me show you what I got. But hey, I mean, no one does it better than Cole. He absolutely laced it in. It would have been great. It would have been very interesting if he had missed. Which actually reminds me of this, which I'll share with you now. I don't know if you've seen this. This is I don't know if you know who Jermaine Defoe is. Do you know who Jermaine Defoe is? Spurs legend. He played for Sunderland. He played a bunch of games in the Prem. Also played for Toronto FC. He's like the marquee signing for Toronto FC. And this is okay. So we've got a foul. Now Jermaine Defoe's like, I'm Jermaine Defoe. I'm going to take the free kick. The free kick gets called. There's a guy called Gilberto who played for Toronto FC. He wants to take the free kick. Jermaine Defoe's like, I'm Jermaine Defoe. I'm taking the free kick. They're fighting over the ball for quite a while. And then Gilberto runs up and does this.
Second minute, tie game, Gilberto.
Gosh.
Goal! And how about that dart?
And they immediately shoot to Jermaine Defoe. And he's just laughing his head off.
Now it's a smile. Wow. 2-1 TFC.
Tough to argue.
I mean, it's one thing with a pen, but if you're like fighting over a free kick and then he steps up and just rails it, you kind of got to laugh.
Fair enough, Gilbert. I think I also think I rate it from Cole Palmer. It's a power move. It's like, I've scored 3, but I'm the big dog here. Let the big dogs eat, you know?
That's right.
I respect it. Now, this final one that I've got, Alster, is like you touched on. Imagine if he'd missed. Imagine if he did this.
And he's missed it! And he hasn't just missed it. It's the worst penalty you've seen, certainly this season, and maybe ever. Poor old anti-player.
Okay, so I mean, he's going for the old stutter run-up, which I think they should just ban from football. It's bullshit. You should just have to step up and hit it. I don't like this, like, pausing, you know, stutter stepping, twinkle toes. Just fucking kick it in the net. But that's quite hilarious. What would have been even better is if it did, like, you know, Panenka style, fool the goalkeeper, and it's all of a sudden you've got a brand new, you know, no one's laughing at, what's his name, Budimir. No one's laughing at Budimir. All of a sudden he's created a new style of taking pens. It's the Budimir. Oh, he's done a Budimir. You know, like, oh, I'm sure Panenka was probably an accident when he did his first Panenka.
Yeah, I mean, you know, set a trend.
That's it. You know, sliding doors, baby.
Something I don't have footage of, but did you watch the highlights of the Burnley game from last weekend?
No.
I'm assuming you saw it, right? I feel for Adam, who we know is like a big Burnley fan.
Was it Muric? Was it Muric making an error? Where's Burnley?
In the Premier League, Brighton and Burnley played a 1-1 draw, but what you're about to see now, it's more exciting than finding out what dog poo's not around. Look at this.
There's Berger now operating at centre back alongside Esther. The back
Oh, that hurts. Now,
And that's up 1-0 with
on.
like 7 minutes to go. Like for Burnley,
now I can empathize with Muranet here. So, a few years ago, many years ago, I was doing the Inca Trail in Peru. So I was hiking to Machu Picchu. You know, I'm pretty cool. I'm a world traveler. Anyway, at the end of one of the day's hikes, so they have like these Peruvian guys who kind of carry all the like camping gear up the mountain, and they set it up for you, and they just, they do all the work for you, and we just arrive and
slaves.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, they've just done that. They've carried all of our shit up to the top of the mountain. They've cooked us dinner. The white guilt's kicking in hard. And then they want to play football. They're like, who wants to play football? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I'm going to play football against some Peruvian guys in the middle of like the Incan jungle on the side of a mountain. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm running around. I'm kicking the ball around. I'm kind of keeping up with them. We're at altitude, so the breaths are a bit heavy.
So that's actually where the Peruvian soccer league takes place.
That's
right. You didn't know it,
exactly.
but you'd stumbled in.
I know, yeah. Pedro Gaese, former porter for G Adventures. So towards the end of the game, I jump in goal because I fancy myself. I think everyone fancies themselves a bit of a goalie. They're like, I can do that. That's easy. I've got the hand-eye coordination. Years of cricket in the slips. Nothing's getting past me. Same situation. It's like next goal wins. I think we're about 4-4. It's getting dark. Next goal wins. I think it was identical to that. It was a pass back from my own player. I think I went to like put my foot on the ball. It just went straight through into the, and I was like, oh, that's the game. It ruined the entire of the rest of the hike. Like I was looking at Machu Picchu and I was just like, I was just depressed. Like the whole thing was ruined for me. So I feel for Muric there. Like it's there's no hole big enough for you to dive into when that happens.
And it's so funny, like you said, like it's that there's something in us guys that just like, oh yeah, we could do that. Like that goalkeeper thing, like when I played indoor futsal, like, which I would say is, I guess it's a smaller goal, but like you're getting shots from close proximity quite frequently. And like my mate's in goals, he led into, and I'm just like, what are you doing, mate? Like just stop it. He gets injured. I have to go in. It is bloody hard. Like the amount of times the ball just like gets underneath you and like it's
the first
stressful.
time that you experience like a shot at pace and you're like, oh, like you hide and you're like, oh shit, yeah, no. The instincts took over and turns out I'm just a little bitch.
Yeah. No, it's tough. But yeah, so that's what I saw this week.
Wow, I love it. I didn't see anything this week, so you're welcome. I had my eyes firmly shut. Cool. All right. Well, look, what I did see this week, Simon, like we've touched on it already, is some real beta behavior from you, I must say.
It's the weekend, so I gotta let my queen sleep in, so I make her some pancakes. She likes them with chocolate chippies in them.
I know that you did better than most weeks. I know that your boys, came out of the blocks flying. You got some decisives. Sho Sasaki, the GOAT. Asano finally comes good on his potential. Hughes making saves like no one's business. KSY, AA King. But Suzuki did nothing, mate. And you need 5 guys. You need 5 guys to hit. And I think we've both had experiences in the past where like 5 guys have scored 60, and that's not enough. I think 400 is the magic number. I think I see so many Twitter posts of people complaining with 365 points, and they're like, why am I winning anything? 400, I think. I think that's the threshold. That's the benchmark. Now, it raises a good discussion, Simon. Is that right? Should you have to hit 400 to win anything in this game? Are we just what's the word?
Well said. Are we her?
Are we her?
Well,
yeah.
You've unzipped me, so I'm going to just try and simmer. I understand, right? I don't want to be another person on Twitter that's getting in a war and I scored 360 points and I won nothing.
Yeah.
Ulster, I had the clean sheet. I had an 80,
No,
a
you didn't have the clean
75.
sheet.
I had 65 points.
Hmm.
65 points. An 80, a 75, and a 75 from my captain. Now, I understand that Suzuki didn't score. So I'm not saying I should have won. I'm not even saying I should have won anything like big. What I'm saying though is, Alistair, even if he did get a 60, if he managed to get a decisive, I still was like scraping into a tier 3, like a shitty tier 3, which in like today's market is like.
I think you would have done slightly better than that. Let's have a look. The point remains the same, I think, Simon, that go carry on. I'll find where you're up to. Okay, so he finished 95th with 389.7 points. If he had scored a decisive, you're looking at a high tier 3. You may, depending on the type of decisive, 41 points away from a tier 2.
Mate, that's an 80. He's not. I'm talking about a decisive. That's a tier 3.
Yeah. He's on 43 without a decisive. If he scores a decisive, that's an extra, 30 points plus the shot on goal. It's an extra 35 plus your XP bonus. He's sitting on an 80. 75.
70.
Plus the, anyway. But, yeah, okay, your point is that with 5 decisives, you're scoring 400 and something points and you're only getting a tier 3. Now, I think one argument here is that they introduced the captaincy bonus at 50%, Simon. That is killing. That's making it tough because KSY there, he's scored a very respectable 73.5. But there's probably at least 30 other managers who have captained a guy who had 100. That's 150. He's already scored double what KSY scored. That's going to make it tough. If you don't pick your captain right, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, as much as I like, I'm half joking about it's too hard. Like, I think the takeaway for me is it's not because I don't think it's 5 guys in hit decisives because I've had that and still win nothing. Like, I got big boy decisives, but yeah, I think the captaincy is huge and like, but whether 75 points from your captain is not enough, pretty tough.
Yeah.
But like you said, like if he could have got a decisive and got 100, like let's do some really bad math. That's pushing me up closer to the tier 2s.
That's an extra 50 points there. You probably still need Suzuki to do something, but you're getting.
But
into
that's
the
fair
tier
enough.
2s
I'm not
there.
saying I deserve to win the bloody game with only 4 out of 5 decisives. I just think that, like, because let's be honest, this tier 5 that I get. His name's gonna be something I can't say, and I've never heard of him.
Lachlan John Crass.
And he's probably from the depths of Korea in some basement somewhere.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit stiff. It's a bit stiff to score 390 points and get a basement boy.
Yeah. Well, a basement boy. I like that. I'm definitely going to use that. Oh no, I've got another basement boy. Yeah, and I think this is the discussion that everyone's having. I think I haven't listened to the Value of Talent podcast yet, but I think the title of the pod is like, is it too hard to win? Like the Sorare data guys, PSU and Laird today were talking. I think they were meant to talk about gallery efficiency, but they ended up just talking about like, is it worth playing Division 1? Is it how are the divisions playing out and where is it best to play your cards? Because I think people are now like, it's still a bit hard to read. Like I was talking a few weeks ago about how I came 4th in Division 1 in-season Prem, but I would have come like 15th if I was in Div 2 or Div 3. But then there's other people who are saying that they're scoring really good points in Div 1 and they're getting nowhere near and they're not even getting a prize. So it's an interesting discussion, and yeah, there is a lot to unpack because you're obviously a budget user. You want to try and win, but if what it takes to win is just so impossible to get with the kind of cards that you have, is it worth continuing to play? And what enjoyment can you get out of it?
Take a walk with me. Take a walk.
Yes.
Let's pretend we're in another world. My pockets are long and pull cash out for fun, right? I wipe my tears with $30 bills, but $50 bills.
$30 bills. We're in Bolivia. Let's imagine can we be in Bolivia?
All right.
Yeah. We're in Bolivia
Ulster.
with $30 bills.
Sweet. All right, Ulster. I went out on the weekend and I bought myself an Allison. And Liverpool kept the clean sheet. 67 points.
Yep.
Big boy, right?
Big boy.
All right, Ulster. I went out. I went defender shopping. Bought a stack because I'm a smart boy. Virgil also kept that clean sheet. 75 points. Thanks for coming. Then my midfielder. I went like a nice little Kevin De Bruyne against Luton. You know, main man, best player in the world.
Yeah.
Gets a decisive 15 points of AA on top of that. That's a good afternoon out. 75 points. Thanks for coming. All right. Now my other midfielder.
If he's getting go on. If he's getting a decisive and some good AA, he's getting more than 75 points.
I said he got 15 points of AA, which is a good.
Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Kevin does what Kevin does. That little comment was enough time for me to stall and try and think of another player to add to my midfield. And in the other midfield, also went shopping. Bought myself a
Tom Hay,
Florian Wirtz, and he did what Florian Wirtz did.
Good purchase.
Got 80, 20 points of AA on top of that goal. That's, good from him, right?
He got a hat trick, actually.
Not this weekend, Ulster. It's a fantasy world where we pay with $30.
Sorry, in Bolivia. Yeah, sorry, Bolivia. Yep, Bolivia. Yep, I'm in Bolivia.
And then I went and bought Erling Haaland, one of the best players in the game. Had the sniffles.
Stupid.
Rudiger made him his bitch and he scored only 41.
Yep.
Does that team deserve a tier 5?
Yes, because he didn't score over 400. It's pretty simple, Simon. It's pretty simple.
But Ulster, all my big boys did what the big boys are meant to do.
Yeah, but Simon, you have bought 5 nobodies from the depths of Asia.
No.
We're not talking about Bolivia. In the real world, you've bought 5 nobodies. The chances of them getting 5 big scores are so slim. You got 4 out of 5. That's probably the best you'll get all year. With that 5 that you bought in Bolivia, look, it sounds like they had an off week, but most weeks they're going to come pretty close. You got the chances of you getting 5 dark green scores with that 5 guys is better. So pay more, spend more money. If you have to move to Bolivia to bring living costs down, so be it. But if you want to do well at Sorare, I think we've just got to. And the debate is whether this is good or bad for Sorare. It was always kind of pay to win. It's so much more about pay to win now than it ever has been. And a great example, Pranksy, best manager on the platform right now, he's probably spent $6 million on cards, but little by little he's winning it back because he's just spent the money on the best cards, and he's also playing in those divisions where there's less competition. If you want to play in limited, good luck. Good luck winning anything.
In limited.
I know. And if you want to play in rare, but just a slightly less amount of luck needed, but still good luck,
Yeah, I guess.
I think my point is you're going to have to come to terms with where you're at, I think, and the expectations can't be that you're going to just pick up a tier 2 or a tier 1 for a mediocre score. You're going to have some magic happen. And are you okay with that?
Well, is this the world we live in? 390 points, tier 5?
I think the issue as well, Simon, here is that
Ulster, listen,
go on.
Hear me.
Yes,
hear me.
Please.
Step into my
I'm
office.
Hearing you. Yeah.
How can I be like, hey, come play Sorare. It's fun. You can play and win. Unless my friends are like Stephen Hawking and they got nothing else to do with their money except play little Sorare games, what hope do they have? What hope do they have?
Stephen Hawking famously just time on his hands. Nothing to do. That's a great example.
Probably not my best example. Probably not. Granted, I'll give you that.
Didn't have any essays to write or equations to solve, stairs to navigate. Yeah, well, look, the discussion here, Simon, is not necessarily. I think you are aware that you don't deserve anything. You deserve a tier 5. It was good, but it wasn't good enough. And
I deserve a tier 4, a high tier 4.
Yeah, that's well. This is the other thing, I guess, is that Simon, and we'll talk a little bit. We'll do a bit of rabbit hunting about what you would have got because the divisions. There's so many elements to this now. There's the divisions. There's the boxes. There's the fact that you're in contender, which is a totally new division now. Like if you're in Asia, you're probably like top 20 if this was the old competition. Like that's a pretty decent score in Asia rare, right?
Yeah,
but you're up against second division in Europe, all those scumbags. You're up against all the Celtic boys. You're up against all the Argentina teams. You're up against Liga MX. Yeah, but my point is, you're in a tough melting pot of teams.
Tough world. And perfect example. The other week you played in season Premier League. You had Kevin De Bruyne hit 100. Other than that, you didn't have that great of a week, and you did really well. So,
that's right.
I'm kind of winding up. I'm half serious, half not. But answer me this: now, back in the day, you would say to me, Simon, you done? Let's go back. I'm just looking. I'm on my other screen here, looking at my first reward.
2 screens, doing well.
323 points, Ulster. I won my first reward.
Like I said, Simon, is this 2000? It's not 2003.
But how do we just is there a reason why? This might be the really dumb question, but is it?
I think it's leading up to one.
Is it justified that it's harder to win? Why is it harder to win if there's less users? I mean, there's more, but
they kind of touched on this today in the Sorare Data podcast. There's more users. There's more users. There's more teams on the platform. There's also the competitions are more difficult because it's not as niche as it used to be. You're not playing apples versus apples. Now, the point the PSU fans I thought made, which I think is a good one, is that all of those things should mean that prices are going up, right? But they're not. So that's probably, I guess, the issue is that you're winning it. You scrape through for a tier 5 and the tier 5 is worth 68 cents.
Well, this thing is worthless.
In a previous world, a tier 5 might not have been great, but at least it was worth, $20, $30, and you can kind of you can be like, well, it's not much, but it's $30 back towards my kitty.
Preaching to the choir. Yeah, sure. Tier 5 me, all you want. But what I'm saying, the frustration is what I'm trying to get at is and I know it's spend more money, but because the tier 5 literally means nothing, it is even for me, it's a drop in the ocean. So, how am I ever going to do anything?
I think, it's hard for us because we've come from up here and the prices have just come down and down and down to a point where it's just so meaningless for us that we need, it's like when you're a heroin junkie and that first hit's amazing, but after 3 years of pumping in the same vein, it's just not the same. We need that big mother load of a win to get our juices flowing. That's why limiteds doesn't work for us. We've both tried buying the best limited cards and it just doesn't hit the same. That's why you went back into rares instead of limiteds. Now, but I think it's if you're, and that's where you're going to need to come to terms with why you play the game. Are you playing the game to try and make money? You really shouldn't be. What are you happy at least that you're winning something?
I'm definitely not here to make money, Alistair. As soon as I reinvested into the platform, I knew that money was gone.
Money goodbye, yeah.
And it's gone.
I mean, I've lost.
Maybe put it this way, Simon. I'm winning a tier 5 super rare this week. Somehow. Again, I didn't have a particularly good week. Lots of that. But I kind of paid the entry fee to get into the competition where there's less people. So a mediocre score can still get me a tier 5. And I'm excited about that tier 5.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
So is it really just about the stakes that you've got, Simon? Is it the stakes that you crave?
No. I want a game where I feel like we can all play and I can be like, hey, this game's really fun. But I feel like I'm playing a game where it's I can't recommend this to anyone.
We're going around in circles a little bit here. Let's talk about, let's be practical, let's be pragmatic, let's talk about the future. So let's first talk about these reward boxes because they have reduced the prize pools across the board. Now, they will increase. They should increase the prize pools again in August when All-Star and all the cap modes are gone. Right? That's fair enough to say. But they've brought in these reward boxes as a way of like a consolation prize, and you don't actually have to score that high of a points to get a reward box. I think all of this can be made good if they really nail the reward boxes. I think they need more. I know what you're going to say, but look, Simon, I agree with you. Because I know damn well you're going to open 3 boxes tomorrow and they're all going to be level ups. There's no world where you open a reward box and there's a card in it. There's no way. It's not in your stars. Now, how would you feel, Simon, if tomorrow you're opening a tier 5 and 3? So remember, like the boxes are technically better quality in Div 2. That's debatable. There's like premium, elite, and pretty good box or something. How would you feel if tomorrow you knew there was a somewhat decent chance of you either winning? There was a low chance of you winning like a star or a tier 1. There was a pretty low chance of you winning a jersey. There was a pretty decent chance of you winning a little bit of cash, $5 or $10 US. And then there was, obviously like a massive chance that you get a level up. If there was a bit more variety of things that you could win and there was a good chance that you would pull something decent, how would you be feeling about tomorrow as opposed to how you feel right now, which is that life is pain and pointless and we're all just leeches on a dead cat's face?
Yeah, I think better because, like, again, not a great score. You're not expecting the world, but you want something. I know when I open that tier 5 tomorrow, it's going to be absolutely nothing. Now, don't get me started. I personally think that the reward boxes are the biggest scam since we got those little balance bracelets we got in primary school where they said put them on, and if you like improve your balance.
Right. Check this out.
Okay.
Let's put this on you.
All right.
Now let's do that same test again. Go ahead, lift that leg up. You ready?
Yeah.
No need to dance.
Yeah.
Let's work with your blood flow.
Okay.
When you have this band on, it naturally restores that. So let's work with your blood flow to regain your strength, energy, balance, focus to the peak level which your body produces.
Professional athletes wear these. Yeah. It had just a little holographic sticker on it. A shiny sticker. Yeah, this is what you need. This will sort you out. So, man.
Yeah, like, I love that idea because I think that they've just basically like sold the candy and been like, oh, we're going to take away the amount of rewards, but you could win. And it's like having a couple of content creators be like, I won Mbappe is not like, I feel like they're pulling the wool over our eyes and we're all just copping it.
Oh, I'm copping it sweet. I'm the most gullible person there is. They're like, free candy, and I'm straight in the van.
Because I think, and this is the problem, Alster, like, this is why you keep getting molested. I think that we had a similar thing with the coins. We've had similar thing with, like, jerseys and all these different things where they promise all this stuff, and we go, that's really nice. Reward boxes. But shit.
Yeah. If they can fix that between now and August, that'll make a massive. Because if you're trying to get, like, I've recently, a friend of mine, he's a Palmeiras fan. He played a little bit of Rivals with me. He's keen to buy a Palmeiras stack in limiteds, and he's the way I kind of explained it to him. God, trying to walk him through the UI of the app and the website was just. It was a nightmare. But I was like, look, just buy some players. I'll walk you through it. See if you can get a feel for the game. And if you get a feel for the game and you can kind of see the point of it, then you probably will want to invest more to pick up maybe the rare version of the Palmeiras toys or the new season version of the Palmeiras toys. I think Sorare is one where you can't just get anyone in. They have to be interested in, like, I found Sorare and just figured it out on my own because I was interested in it. I could see the value there. And I think if you're introducing it to people, going back to what you were saying about, could you in good conscience recommend this to anyone? You kind of just have to go like, I can walk you around. I can answer any questions you've got. But if you want to dive into this, that's on you. And I think if people are willing to, if they get the game and they're willing to spend money, they can do well. And they can enjoy it and they can get a decent return, we're all fucked because we bought a year and 2 years ago. But anyone coming in now potentially could buy a Chelsea stack, put them in season, and win $1,000. Like, it's possible.
Yeah. But isn't Sorare moving and shifting towards common adoption across the masses?
Well, this is, I think, my original point before I got lost was the reward boxes. If they do them well, they could potentially offer that jackpot element that a new user, while they're still learning the game, they're hitting 350, they're hitting 360. Instead of them going, oh, I thought that was a pretty good score. Are we nothing for that? Like, 4 of my guys scored goals. Yes, no, you got to be better than that if you want to win rewards. But here's some reward boxes, and there's a semi-decent chance you'll win something of interest, be it cash, jerseys, tickets, even if they have like market credits, like all that stuff. Because at the moment, level ups, no one's getting hard on a level up. No one. Yeah, some zaps.
Yeah, but babe, it says that I'm a local coach now.
I'm just going for that intermediate level regional coach position. Can't wait. Yeah, no, Zaps' Arrivals is dead. We've already put that in the bed.
Oh, I forgot. You're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore.
I mean, I remember when I first started Sorare, I didn't win anything for fucking ages. It was impossible. But I got hooked because I wanted to win. I think that's, at the end of the day, you can't. When I signed you up, I was like, you can't lose, Simon. Literally, just by buying 5 cards, you'll win $1,000 rare referral reward, and you win the game before you've even started. Obviously, that was wrong. You can't get people into Sorare with that now. It's not. There's not free money to be made, but you can kind of go, there's a fantasy game here, which is way better than gambling. Have a go at it. If you are interested in it, then you will make your own way. And if you like it and you see the value and you want it, you get hooked like we did, then you'll spend more money.
I think they should just market it towards people that hate their wives. Don't want to talk to your wife? Don't want to talk to your kids? Here's a good little hobby that you can just pour your life savings into.
Yeah.
Takes up quite a lot of time. It's hard to do. It's really never satisfying, so you're going to constantly try and scratch that itch. I think that's probably their marketing funnel.
Yeah, they should be reaching out. They should be advertising in local TABs and in the bathroom stalls of a dingy bar somewhere.
Yeah, when you say that you got into it, did you say you got into it because of the money or not because of the money?
I think I got into it because NFTs were really taking off, and I was trying to buy NFTs, and I found this one, and I was like, this is cool. Like, this is way better than buying a picture of a dolphin. And then I just I bought some players. I bought the cheapest players I could and didn't do well, and went, fuck, well, I want to do well. So I spent more money.
I think going back to PSU fans' point about the prices, do you think that's the real, at the end of the day, is that the underlying factor behind all of this? Because you said before, when you started, you didn't care if you didn't win. You said, oh, I don't care. I didn't win anything. But your prices stayed the same, if not went up, by you being somewhat smart. Now, let's use Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example. I sold him and you bit my head off because I sold Trent Alexander-Arnold. His price has absolutely plummeted since. And then I looked at something the other day and I was like, okay, who's the best player in the past year? I'd say Florian Wirtz is up there.
Yep.
Old mate could have bought Florian Wirtz a year ago and he's like, how good? Use his scores, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if his price is still half, which it has, it's a tough sell. You're losing and everything's just going down.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is where we're trying to just figure out, has Sorare, has the price stabilized at least? Has it bottomed out, or are we still going down? Do we expect that card values are going to halve again? Or are we just was it just way too high and it's kind of corrected and then maybe overcorrected? I think card prices are low. Do we think they're going to go lower?
Just need to calm myself because the amount of times you've told me, no, bro, like, I'm telling you, like, it was just too high and it just had to go down a bit. Like, bro, like, if you buy in now, you're getting in the bottom. Nah, my bro, if you get in now, you're in the bottom. My bro, if you get in now, you're really at the bottom, and it just keeps going down.
Do I sound
The
like
amount
that?
of times I've heard you say that is criminal.
I will put my hand up and say that I will agree with you. I don't think the prices are going to go back up again necessarily. I think we may have reached the bottom. What I'm saying is if Sorare can figure out how to, hey, let me finish my sentence. If prices stabilize, then whoever buys in now is good. I don't think we're buying the dip and it's going to go flying back to the moon. I may have thought that in the past. I'm holding out hope, but I'm not gonna say that to anyone who comes in. If anyone comes to me and says I want to play Sorare, I'll be like, cool, it's fun. You can win bits and pieces. Don't expect to become a millionaire, but it's fun. And if you look, hey, if your Palmera stack pops off next weekend and you win a card worth $50, or you're playing in the cash divisions and you win $50, hey, that's fun. That's better than. And then you get to do it again next week. Like, there's that the core of Sorare hasn't changed. It's still fun. It's just that we have lost that element of, like, I bought this card 6 weeks ago and now it's worth triple because he scored a goal on the weekend. Like, that era is dead.
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving it on.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, division chat.
Yeah.
We had a conversation before the game week, and you said, are you tempted to play your boys in a lower division, be king of the dweebs? And I said, no, I have ambition. I said, this will be the 1 week my boys pop off, and pop off they did.
Almost.
You crunched the numbers, I believe?
I crunched
Did
the
I
numbers.
make the right call? Should I have been the king of the dweebs?
Okay. If you had played your team that finished with 389.72 points, you would have come in Division 1, you would have come 61st. You would have won no reward, but you would have won 2 premium boxes, which, again, I can't see any tangible difference between the premium boxes and the shit boxes as yet. This is where they really need, if they want people to want to play Div 1, put some more good shit in the premium boxes. Give people a much better chance of winning a card, a much better chance of winning a jersey, or if you're going to put cash in there, maybe just put cash in Division 1. Everyone will be fighting over themselves to get to Division 1. Right now, I think people are a bit like, oh, I'm not playing Division 1. Fuck that. I'm not going to win anything. If you had played them in Division 3, which I think is probably the most populated division, I think that's where most people play. Division 3, Division 2, there's a lot of people in there. You would have finished 44th, which is a high tier 4, and you would have had 3 elite boxes. So you could say that would have been better, a better result. Now, if you had played in Division 4, Simon, with the Dweebs, you would have won a tier 2 plus 3 okay boxes. Now, the tier 2 for the last couple of game weeks, they've been pretty terrible tier 2s. I think last week was Alexander Popovich from one of the K-League teams, and then the week before that, I think it was another. You're basically getting a K-League player if you're winning a tier 2 in Div 4. I think it was worth about 0.01, which is definitely more than what your tier 5 tomorrow is going to be worth. So you could say that you probably should have been king of the dweebs.
I think, just to sort of wrap it up, I think Asia going killed me. I reckon that, like,
yeah, that score would have got you would have got a goalkeeper this weekend. You would have won a tier 2 or a low tier 1. You would have got a goalkeeper. A shit goalkeeper, you would have got a goalkeeper. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. So basically, I shouldn't have planned ahead.
Now,
the takeaway.
On that point, though, Simon, there is hope. There is hope on the horizon for you. So let's finish the podcast by talking about where you go to from here, because I don't think you're going to quit just because of this. I feel like you've still got the hunger in you. Now, a few reasons to be positive. The European leagues end soon, so you're not going to be up against Second Division Europe. You're not going to be up against Croatia. You're not going to be up against the Austrians. It's just going to be you and the Mexican boys and the Argentinian boys for like 3 or 4 months. So a little bit more of an even playing field there. I think they're pretty comparable leagues. I think you could make a very good point that
when you're up against Leicester stacks and Celtic stacks, what chance do you have with your Asian boys? There's no dominant Asian teams that score 500 points of a weekend. Now, the other thing to be positive for is, I know we've talked about it, you just have to think that they are reviewing each week the divisions, the prize pools, the boxes. If they're not, I'd be very disappointed in Sorare, and I fully expect to be disappointed in Sorare, but they really need to sort that shit out. And you have to think that by August, when all the other competitions go, and this is all we have, if they take those other competitions away and it's still this, and everyone's just like, this fucking sucks, then the platform's gonna die.
Wow.
Calling it.
Heard it here first.
Calling it. They gotta. If this is what it is moving forward, and I know it's early days and the divisions are still playing themselves out, but they have to realize that if you're winning a tier 2 in Div 4, why the hell are you trying to have any ambition? And
I love that you ended your positive segment with you being like, Sorare's gonna die.
That's the positives. Wait till you hear the negatives. We're all gonna die. Okay. What was I going to say? Now, I guess the flip side of that is like, do we just have to come to terms with the fact that Sorare is maybe not for people on a budget? And is that a good thing? Like, if you're going to play in the rares, Simon, is it maybe just time that you just pay some more, just put some more money on? If you're going to play rares, deal with the fact that you're going to suck every week with the budget players, or play limiteds, or spend more money.
I just put money in. Yeah, I guess.
More.
More? You want more?
Like, is this like, are they kind of, the glory days of Sorare was like, if you wanted to do well, you had to spend the big bucks, and it was like a premium thing, and there was no limiteds. It was just, there was loads of money flying around, and someone like me was just, like, I couldn't afford to play. I was just like, please, something good happen with my cheap boys. They weren't even cheap. They were really expensive. You're in that spot right now. Is that a good thing, though? Like, should Sorare keep pandering to the shit kickers with $18 in their wallet? Or should they start maybe focusing a little bit more on the whales?
I think feed the whales.
It's tough, man, because I mean, all the cap modes are going as well, so you won't even have like a beat the game element. You're just literally going to have to beat everyone else, and that's going to get really hard.
There you go. Is Simon more fucked than he's ever been before?
There's good and there's not good. This is not good.
There's the title. There's the title. Is Simon more fucked than ever before? Oh, man. Gone are the glory days where it's just like, Sebastian Blanco, free kick, and I'll be fine.
Man,
that's all I need.
Should we just have an episode of just reminiscing on the good old days?
Oh, the good old days.
Sebastian Blanco get a 65 and you're stoked.
Four-man Thrashy. Oh, I remember I came 5th in under 23, and I think I only had like 4.5 players that played. It was great. It was just the times.
The days. Well,
I don't know,
so
man.
Sounds like I've got some real good times ahead. Real fun.
This is it. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're gonna do. You just gotta. I think you've bought a lottery ticket that you can enter every week, and maybe something good will happen. Probably won't, but maybe it will.
But I buy a lottery ticket, but sometimes the clerk forgets to put it into the machine. Sometimes there's a hole in the back of the machine. My ball slips out, so like I put it in, but it doesn't always have a chance of winning because Cecilia's getting a pedicure somewhere.
Oh man, I think it's good. I think it's good that we're having this chat though, because I think there's a lot of podcasts out there, and the Sorare content creators who are making them, can't fault them. They're all either successful YouTubers or they've got big galleries because they've been around for a long time. There's not that many content creators who are like you, just a balling
guy
on a budget. You're just a guy, like I think
man of the people.
Yeah, because we always hear the perspective like, oh, look, carb prices are going down. That sucks. Like my, Griezmann and my Mignon and, these players that I've bought aren't winning me as much as they used to. But no one's been like, fuck, I hope Shunta Tanaka pulls through for me and gets me the big jackpot this week. Like, you're the everyman, Simon. All the people,
Yeah, I want to see the comments. Drop a comment. It's like, I've gone to the hospital when I'm in, year 8. I've posted a photo of the hospital bed. I want the comments being like, "You can do it, Simon. Is everything okay?" Like, rally around me. Really, just really build me up.
If you're out there and you're a basement boy like Simon, and you've just rolled out your Portland Timbers stack, and you're like, maybe something nice will happen. Hey, that's it. Maybe something nice will happen.
Let's join together, make a community. We can rise up, Everyone else who's playing on a budget, they left as soon as, the threshold got taken away or reduced. But here I am, a pioneer, a lone wolf.
Oh, man. I mean,
Fucking
really,
sucks.
It's just, Sorare need to fix the boxes. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much your peak in Sorare is boxes.
Box boy.
And you're a little bargain basement box boy.
Box boy. Winning basement boys.
Oh, it's tough. Okay, now last thing I'm going to ask you, Simon, and I think it's worth raising. We've just spent the last half an hour in a very rambling way talking about how hard it is for someone, a basement box boy like yourself. You're in the rares. You went into the rares because you were like, I want the higher stakes. I want something to sink my teeth into. There could be a lot of people out there who are going, well, why don't you just take that money, Simon, and buy good limiteds? Do you have a response to that?
Been there, done that.
And now
I'll say nothing without my lawyer.
Why not go there again?
I don't know. Well, but
just what?
Yeah, you could.
Like, let's say you could probably, with the money, if you sold your rare boys right now, you could probably go and buy like an in-season Liverpool stack and play in the cash tournaments. Why does that not appeal to you? Because I think it's an interesting question.
But I feel like I did that. I bought the top 2 Premier League teams from this season and they've won me literally nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you and I have got the same. I mean, my mentality is play the super rares because I can slip up a little bit and still win a card. I don't like how brutal it is down in the limiteds.
No, I think we talk about how hard it is to win. I don't know, I think with the limiteds, you've got to pick a team like that didn't win the previous season and then has a really great season, so you can buy them at the bottom.
Just see the future.
Like if you bought a Leverkusen stack this year,
yeah, you can be laughing.
But I bought a Melbourne City, a Man City stack, and a Liverpool stack. 1 and 2 on the table, the best 2 teams all year. They've lost 2 or 3 games each for the season, and I won diddly squat.
Yeah.
Is that? I'm assuming it's just poor strategy on my end, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you had injuries and then Melbourne on the brain. Man City, always rotating, so that's tough. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just, I don't think, this mate of mine who's signing up and buying his Palmeiras stack, I didn't tell him this, but I was like, you're gonna struggle in limiteds. It's so hard to win, and when you do, it's like you're winning a $2 card. It's hard to really get excited about that. You should probably just, if you like the game, just fuck that off as quick as you can and get into rares at least. At least get into rares.
I think if you can take away all my jumbling and mumbling from before, if I got asked that question, I'm still a Sorare purist. I'm still a Sorare OG, and I still need something. I can go through the dark times, I can go through the withdrawals, but when I win, I want to win big. I want to feel that rush through my veins.
Either
winning
penis.
a $5 limited by doing really well, it ain't cutting it. I want big boys.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
The week that Yuma Suzuki bangs in a hat trick, all you need is your forward to score a goal. He goes above and beyond. He scores a hat trick. You're finishing top 5. You want that. You want something juicy. Yeah,
I do. And honestly, Alistair, one of the best days of my life, which now I say it sounds really sad, was the day where I was at my part-time job. I was vacuuming up the floor after a child's birthday party, and I was watching Sho Sasaki rack up that AA as my captain and took me to the promised land of this great reward, who then went to Romania. But he took me to this great reward, and we were like, oh my God, it's happening.
this is what we
it's
play
happening.
for. Yeah.
It's happened once in about 4 years, and I won a card that went to a not covered league. But
That's
my
Sorare,
God,
baby.
for that 20 minutes, did it feel good?
Yeah. Look, okay. Let's end it on a positive note. I think we've found the solution, Simon. Sorare is pain. It's a weekly grind. It's disappointing. You get your hopes up not even once a week, twice a week for most people. You get your hopes up. You put that lineup in. You're like, I'm winning this week, and it just never happens. It's just a parade of letdown. But that one sweet moment when everything comes together makes it all worth it, and that's why you should all go out and buy some Sorare cards, because Sorare's going to the moon. Buy the dip, baby. We're back. Sorare, number 1. Yeah.
Well, on that note, I guess
I
wrap it up.
did say I was
See you,
going to leave it
mates.
on a positive note. All right. Bye.